Yeah.
That's noise. Somebody's everybody collectively has their computer on as well. Is somebody's computer audio
Not
on?
me.
It's definitely me.
Nice.
That's where I got to just.
I think you would be turning all that down.
You.
There we go. Everybody mute themselves.
Love it.
Oh, it's your pitching machine. I gotta get my fucking shit together. Also, why not? Can't see me? What in tarnation's happening right now?
What in tarnation?
Let's see here.
What in Turd Nation?
What in turd nation?
Holy tits.
I think it's just a internet thing. That's fine.
Weird. That's okay. It's mysterious, and we're doing a mysterious episode.
That's true. We are doing a mysterious episode.
Whoa, geez, I hotkeyed it. It's fucking hotkey, dude.
That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna turn off.
Hot plate.
There we go.
Have you guys seen that? Wait, was that a sketch on SNL once? Horatio Sands just screams "hot plate" every time he puts down a plate at a restaurant.
Sounds like a shitty would have done.
I think that is a Horatio Sands sketch.
That's hilarious. Well, I don't know what's going on with my computer. I think I probably need to restart it, which I don't think we have the luxury of time to be able to do. So I'm just gonna. Actually, you know what? We can. Whatever, man.
Do we have any video listeners?
We got a couple, but let me just get rid of some fucking bullshit. I don't know why this is happening.
For iOS, bro.
Something's happening with mine. It's only mine. Like your guys look fine. Like there's something going on with mine. I don't really understand why or what.
How's your background look?
My background looks strange. Do you
the
guys?
Aliens are involved here or something? Yeah, it's like you get frozen and then it'll speed up to catch up with you, and you're like.
Very weird. Very strange. That's fine. Well, we will. I guess I justifiably should
try shutting down Chrome and rebooting it or something.
You guys will probably still be on the
cool
thing though.
Now I'm gonna delete stuff.
Ooh, there we go. Turn down all the sounds because we're back on. There we go. We'll wait for Fareed before we officially introduce this. He always tells me that my Wi-Fi sucks in your house. I don't understand why. Connection is unstable.
Weird.
I'm just an unstable person.
You're in
these
the
days.
Onichiwa trading company and everything?
I know, man. I don't really understand.
Well, it's all have this. I'm muted.
How about your computer?
Your computer needs to be muted,
It
and then
says it's muted.
well, there's sound coming from your machine, I
laptop.
think. Yeah.
Output.
I mean, you obviously know why this is happening. It's because we're talking about aliens today.
Yeah.
And
Thank you.
they don't want
That's exactly it.
they don't want us to spread their fucking secret cheeks.
And here's the truth of the matter is apparently they do not like people talking about this.
There we go. I can't hear a single dude, they say. That's good to know. That's exciting.
No dudes?
No dude. Sounding good, they claim Malik Delo says otherwise. I don't know. It's insane to me that the more we do this, the more technologically inept we get. I don't understand how. I don't understand how and why. But that's fine. We can figure it out. If you guys can't hear us, let us know.
Yes.
Because I'm getting 2 yeses and 1 no. So hopefully that's the no is an anomaly and it's actually
yes.
Malik Doe needs to fix their shit. But anyway, this is Did You Reddit, a weekly-ish podcast about the internet by way of Reddit, the front page of the internet, a weekly tech support podcast about the internet. Call in because your tech problems and we'll further break them for you.
IT team.
My name is It's Your Alien today.
I'm Dog Boobs.
Whoa, free my aliens.
Oh.
Let them out.
Whoa. Free my aliens.
Free my aliens. Sound is good. What's up, y'all? So today we had referenced this a little bit ago, and I'm just gonna get fucking into it because I know we're a little bit later than usual, and I don't want us to like
dilly dally.
I don't want us to dilly dally and not be able to talk about this because it's fucking important to society, to our global society in the history of the world, the United
human history,
fucking whatever. Yeah, so we're talking about throawaylien. Today, and throawaylien is like a Dog Boobs specialty. I'm gonna change this view. This view is weird. I don't like this view. There we go.
Oh, nice.
This is a dog. This is something Dog brought up a couple episodes ago, right?
Yeah, so this was one, I forgot which episode we were recording at the time, but one of our awesome live stream watchers. Oh yeah, you're right. Brennan's music says would have been more fitting to be alien boobs today. And that's really true. I fucked up. So one of our listeners, viewers suggested Throwaylien while we were recording, and we had never heard about it, which is, par for the course for us.
That's what happens. We do a fucking podcast about the internet, about Reddit.
At 200 episodes all about Reddit, and we're like, oh, never heard of this really integral thing about Reddit.
Really basic thing that.
So we Googled it then. We've been digging into it since then. It's so weird. And especially to find out about it now.
Right.
After, and we'll get into the importance of this date, but after July 18th, 2021, finding out about it now is kind of interesting, but also finding out about it in 2021 after we got that bizarro Pentagon, CIA, like, oh guys, by the way, UFOs are real. That was kind of weird this year. So it seems like kind of an interesting 2021 topic to cover. And it's kind of a story that it felt like it had wrapped up in a mysterious way. We don't know where Throwaylien went. Yeah, his account is deleted, but there are new developments in the larger story. So
this is also what I love, by the way, because I was thinking about this in the car. About there's a little bit of noise in my headphones, so for some reason it seems noisy. That's why I think it's fine. I think it's only in like your headphones or something. But if you guys feel otherwise, let me know.
Cool. It sounds like it was the McDonald's drive-through for Malik Delo.
I can hear like a wave, like a.
Oh yeah, that's Dog's mic. We'll figure it out. I'm gonna fix this. So this is something that happens a lot on the internet, right? So you will see this is kind of the foundation of creepypasta in a way, right? Where creepypastas, you're like someone will say something, and you're like remember we did the one about SpongeBob, the SpongeBob writing?
Yeah.
Because I think about that story a lot for some fucking reason, and I think the reason is because you're kind of like, no, it's not real. I'm like, maybe though. Yeah. And
for listeners who don't know what we're talking about, we did a creepypasta episode. Go listen to it. There's a terrifying SpongeBob story.
Yeah, there's basically a SpongeBob story that's like there's a deleted episode was kind of the logic of that story that was it was like Squidward's suicide, I think was the concept. And it was like very scary, and it was like nobody knew where the footage came from and nobody knew who had edited it, and then they just deleted it. But it was basically an intern in the writing room at SpongeBob who was like, this happened, I swear to God this happened, I'm explaining it to you. And so throawaylien kind of feels like it has a similar artistic cadence, right? Yes. Which is like, we don't know if this is really a long fiction, a long LARP fiction, or is real, or is somewhere in between.
Yeah.
Right. And Reddit is filled with this shit. The internet's filled with this shit. But this is kind of the most recent that's most interesting, and partially also because of all of the alien conversations over the last fucking couple months, right? I mean, this was my 2021 bingo, like my total bingo card, wild card, where I was like, we're gonna have an alien moment. It's gonna happen because it just feels like we had all this shit leading up to it. We had such a wacky year last year.
Right.
A wacky year. A wacky, devastating year. And now,
magic,
wow, totally wacky and weird.
Very wacky. Yes.
Yeah.
That's wacky.
Yeah. Totally.
but
2021 bingo was like, there's gonna be some sort of huge disaster in Afghanistan and something to do with aliens this year.
I have opinions on the
year ever. Like,
it also has been breezing by.
We're almost to 2022.
Yeah, that's in like 4 months. That's just crazy.
Fucking bananas. I mean, I have a lot of opinions on the Taliban that we probably don't need to get into in this pod. But anyway, I'm for him. That's my opinion.
Cool.
I'm for him. Pro Tally.
Whoa. Hot take.
Isolate that audio. But I think that the throawaylien account, which actually the first post was in 2013, so this is like a long con, you know?
Yeah.
But it is kind of the grandest version of this long LARP that we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Is this correct?
No, you spelled it wrong. There's no W. So if you want to just check out the subreddit, it's throawaylien. So throawaylien without the W in throw.
And I
but
can send you a link to that.
Yeah, link me and I'll put it up on the screen. But Dog is the pro. This Dog is Mulder. We are
yes.
We're extras.
Yeah.
We're not
I'm
Scully.
Fox Mulder. I want to believe you guys are my sexy little Scullys.
That's right. So I like to say. All right. Let's get this thing up in the screen, and then let's start talking about it.
Yeah, y'all.
And you can explain what's happening here.
Throawaylien, you guys. Okay, so everybody, I don't know about you guys. Have you ever talked to anybody or heard of anybody who knows someone who claims to be abducted by aliens?
No, but did we talk about I saw UFO last year?
You did?
I saw a UFO last year. Yeah.
I don't think we ever talked about that.
But you know, it's funny because I have the same opinion on UFOs as I have on ghosts.
What?
Right? Which is like,
sure, they're out there.
Like, whether or not they're out there, it kind of doesn't necessarily matter because they're not really messing with me. And then I would see it. Like, if something happened in this room right now, like a hat fell off like a fan fell off.
Jesus.
And we're just gonna be like, well, that's crazy.
Yeah.
And then we're just gonna continue doing whatever. Like, we're not gonna think for 1 second it was a ghost.
Totally.
And so there's probably shit like that happens all the time that we just go, we're like, oh shit, that was weird.
Mm-hmm.
People go like, yeah, it was kind of weird. And then you're just kind of like, all right, well, I gotta go to work, you know, and like that's it. And so I was driving in I was driving outside of Las Vegas, and my buddy and I.
That's primo UFO.
UFO territory, exactly. So my buddy and I took a wrong road trying to get to something,
Don't even get me started.
And so when we veered off onto this wrong road, what ended up happening is we clearly like weren't supposed to be there, and it looked like maybe it was a service road.
Okay.
And my car was just like not handling it very well, which was like kind of even more evident that it was clearly a service road.
Clearly aliens were involved.
Yeah, the aliens were involved.
The Subaru or the Volkswagen?
It was the Subaru, but it was
That's sad to hear.
Well, yeah. But it was, so basically we looked out our window and I saw a kind of a plane of sorts hovering.
Ooh.
Sounds like a drone.
So it looked like a drone, right? But it was very high. It wasn't like a consumer drone. It was like a, kind of like it looked like a plane in the air.
Okay.
Pretty far off, but close enough to where we knew it was either looking at us or it was happened to be hovering kind of around the area. Did
you have an idea of its scale? Did it look like there were passengers could be in it, or is it small?
It looked like a passenger probably could have fit in it.
Okay.
But it didn't look like it wasn't a commercial jet or something.
Okay.
And then I looked at it and I was like, oh, that's kind of crazy. Wow. And my first thought was like, because of where we were, I was like, oh, it's clearly a military thing. And I wonder if the military is like, these jabronis are not supposed to be on this road.
Jabronis just accidentally
rolled
into our
exactly.
face.
I was kind of like, I don't think these people are supposed to be here. Right. What's going on? Right. But I looked at it and that was my initial thought, which was a logical thought, which is like, cops are onto us. Right.
Yeah.
And I also thought, because it was one of those, you know how you always see those signs on the highway that's like speed monitored by fucking
and you're always like,
aliens.
That's bullshit.
Yeah, exactly. And speed monitored by aircraft, I think is what it says. And so
like, shit, maybe
we saw that.
Bullshit.
But then the tricky thing, the reason I'm like, damn, that was a motherfucking UFO, is because it was, I saw it, looked at my dash again. My buddy and I had maybe like a brief word, looked back up, and it was gone. And it was clear as day. It was like there was no clouds, that we were in the middle of the Las Vegas desert. So there's absolutely no coverage. It wasn't like it would have just zipped away. It was just gone.
Why couldn't it have zipped away?
Well,
I feel like it zipped away.
Well, it could have zipped away, but it
was so quick.
You would have been like, away. I would have still seen it go somewhere,
like pooping along off in the distance, running off. Like,
I think we don't know
the extent of like our military.
Yes, I mean, I think there's like a big like the whole stealth bomber project started in like 1963 and wasn't revealed till like 1988.
Yeah.
Well, but really quickly, I'm not talking aliens.
I know
it could be an alien.
I think if it were me,
yeah,
and I'm the military, and I'm spending $1 trillion somewhere every year.
Hey,
what am I spending
going somewhere?
On? It's not toilet paper. So like investing in these. I can buy a drone on Amazon right now that's like pretty fucking sick for $400.
Right.
Yeah.
And I don't even have to fly anymore. It just follows me around as an influencer and watches me be like, peace. And that's chill.
Hey guys, and subscribe below because I'm about to try out McDonald's new limited edition menu. Yeah.
Exactly. So if we can all get that going pretty quickly.
What does $1 trillion get
you? What does $1 trillion get you? Get you that zip away power, I think.
It might,
and it gets you like a body that's. Well, we know from the Elisa Lamb podcast that we did on like the 3rd or 4th episode, the invisibility cloaks exist.
They do.
Right.
So, I mean, if there's technology that and the other thing about the desert is it's blue skies, extremely sunny. So like the reflectability capabilities is
100%
the roof. There's no shadows.
Yeah, that's
so like true. If you could somehow mask yourself, which, where's Rumsfeld? You know,
that's what I want to know.
Then
he's dead, by the way. He died earlier.
And
shit.
And I don't know if you've ever gone down like the wormhole of like military weapons on like the YouTubes.
Ooh, I do want to go down that wormhole.
I got into it with like the Israeli Iron Defense Dome.
Oh
what that weapon was.
You have become every kid you have, you become more of the dad.
Well, this was going on with Palestine, and
guys, I saw this World War II documentary the other day. You gotta see it.
Oh yeah.
Sick.
Dude, sick. I'm watching baseball.
The Iron Dome thing is like wild.
It's crazy. So like it's like this Gatling guns like scenario, and so the United States has it, but they have it on these like bomber jets.
Right.
So they have one that just flies in the air, and it can like theoretically like fly around New York City and like protect it from anybody who's coming. And you look at it's like spent uranium shells, which is like the hardest whatever. So I'm just saying they're doing all this stuff. It's fucking crazy.
Right.
you're like, whoa, dude, that's like rip roaring military.
Rip roaring.
And it's not pea shooters anymore. So I mean, they fucking definitely have this like drone thing they can zip away.
Yeah.
For security, because how else? What's the fastest way to check a giant perimeter? I just that would be the best way. You know,
a diesel truck.
You're not gonna send fucking Jeff out there in his Jeep.
Yeah, that's true. So exactly what we're talking about was my thought. Is I think I was like, this is, but the reason I say UFO is because that is what a UFO is an unidentified flying object. It doesn't mean it's a goddamn alien. I mean, it could be anything.
No,
right?
And the thing that is so bizarre about this is what we see. Throwaylien story supports this. Other abductee stories support this. The U.S. government, if you are believing alien abduction stories, knows that the aliens exist.
I think that's factually accurate.
And I would be willing to guess that they are not in cahoots, because that's kind of silly, but I'm sure that there is some alien technology that may be shared or may have been uncovered in the Nevada desert somewhere.
Signed a transnational deal with Starbucks.
Yeah.
Us aliens and the government.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great if the aliens came and like accidentally got hooked on Starbucks fast sandwiches?
What if
then, like all the shitty
like
all like the transcendental
MSG
love that we're supposed to be
pestos.
Getting, and we're all like, please give us that transcendental love, man. They get hooked into the system, and they're like, sorry, we're fat now.
Yeah, I'm sorry, we're doing the holiday chestnut salted caramel latte.
These are really good.
I mean, it would be. That is hilarious. The idea that the aliens come down and they're just like,
they just get lazy.
They're just a worse version of us.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like
you guys crush snacks way harder than we do.
I feel like Earth is kind of like the Arizona state of the galaxy a little bit. Like the aliens that come here are looking to party. You know, they're looking to
Earth is party. The ASU of the galaxy.
It's the Tempe, it's the Vegas of the galaxy.
They come here because they're like, yeah, we're going to college. Yeah, we're going to study these humans. But then they get here and they're like, these guys are fun. Like, maybe we should just hang here.
Look, there's a place that exists right now today called Tibet, and fucking monasteries where nobody talks and they just pray with like love vibrations all day. None of us are interested in going there.
No, I just was in one last week, bro.
Yeah.
One of us
you went, and then the first thing you did when you left is Starbucks sandwiches.
You want to know something crazy? So let's go outside. And then we're gonna start talking about Throwaylien in a second, right? But I was at a sort of hippie retreat last week.
Very cool.
But I absolutely loved it. It was a beautiful experience. It does a complete
asshole factor though.
Very low, actually. Surprisingly low. So
I love that.
But I was at this place called Esalen. It's a famous it's like a famous new age meditation and like inquiry, campus or something.
Down the road from the CIA's Monterey Institute.
Yes. Is that true?
Yeah.
Wow. But it was
yin and yang.
Yeah. I mean, it was unbelievable. It was a beautiful thing. I had a blast. We're leaving. We're on the road. We're just reflecting on how nice it was. We're on the one, which is like a really windy ass road coming out of Big Sur.
Oh, I love Pacific Coast.
The Pacific Coast, and
hygiene.
We pull up, and we're just about 40 minutes outside of this. Like, spent 5 days just like reflecting on our existence. And there's like a couple cop cars. We're like, oh, what the hell's going on, man? Must have been a wreck or something. There's a body, just on the side of the road, covered in a sheet.
Oh no!
And we were just like,
we're like, wow,
just shaking. It was so fucking strange. It was literally like we were
talk about bringing you guys right back down.
Well, and
then you went to Starbucks.
Might as well at that point.
What? So we're guessing like a hobo on a bike got hit by a semi or something.
Dude, I have no idea. I was literally just one of those things. It was just because you see that shit all the time. You see just cops that are just you're like, they're giving a ticket to somebody got a flat tire, so you're always kind of expecting the most innocuous thing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And then
a million times a day you see cops pulling people over. Rarely do you actually see the body.
Yeah.
Although more and more, I feel like in California, just because of like the homeless population, you have more people like in the elements.
Yeah,
possible.
Just are like exposed to the risk.
Yeah, and crossing street.
It was
especially on the
riding your bike anywhere on a road.
Yeah, man.
That's
why I'm for Peloton. You know, I've always been pro Peloton on this podcast.
That's why every homeless person should go buy a Peloton.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
So they can get from A to B.
Right. I actually I have a nonprofit. It's I get paid a lot, but it's for nonprofit, and we actually give Pelotons to homeless people.
You're a giver, dude. They can't do anything with them.
Pelotons for peace.
It's a burden. Like they're like, can you stop giving us these goddamn Pelotons?
We can't even drag our stuff around.
Fucking pain in the ass.
We don't have access to the internet or a plug.
Yeah, or a plug.
No, that's what Starbucks are for. When you see people who bring their Pelotons to Starbucks, it's because they're trying to get on the Wi-Fi and plug in.
That's late stage capitalism.
Pelotons for peace, man.
Pelotons
great,
for peace.
Non-profit. All right, let's talk about throwaylien.
And Starbucks.
That's true.
That's wild, though.
That's true. It was insane. I saw corpse and UFO. All right. So
it was covered, or did you see?
It was no, it was covered. It was a chubby cop standing in front of a clearly a sheet on top of a body, laying on their back on the ground.
You don't know what it was. It could have been a horse, or it could have been an alien.
Dude, it wasn't a horse.
I'm being very presumptuous.
No, bro, it definitely wasn't a horse, you idiot. But it could have been.
It could have been
a crashed alien.
Could have been.
And maybe that's what was really going on. Let's talk about it.
Yeah, man.
All right. So throwaylien. So I'm going to let Dog take the reins here, but from what I know, just as a very, very small introduction. So we are going to be talking a little bit about the r/throwaylien account.
Yes.
So this is what I have pulled up right now on the screen. But really what this actually was is a user that went by this name.
Yes.
And it kind of like the Ken M thing, right? Ken M is a user. There's a sub dedicated to Ken M, right?
Right.
And this is throwaylien is the user. There's a sub dedicated to the throwaylien. And then since the 18th, I believe, there's now We Come in Peace.
Yeah. So
different sub.
Yeah, we'll kind of go there, but basically, throwaylien is a user. They shared was a user,
or is I don't know how that works.
I know
they didn't delete their account, right?
The account is deleted.
Wow.
Yeah, so there are archives of throwaylien comments and stuff, but they are not. You can't find them anymore on Reddit.
Right.
So it turned into kind of a community because people were so into this story, and it was wild. So anyway. The way it kind of started was back in 2013, there was a kind of an Ask Reddit thread, and it was titled Alien Abductees of Reddit or People Who Have Claimed to See a UFO. What's your story? Which is a great one because I would love to read through all of that and see what people are saying.
Really quickly, too, do you feel like it is one of the ultimate flexes on Reddit to be able to have to do an Ask Reddit and get fucking traction?
Dude, yeah.
I feel like you can pose a question. I feel like I've done this before where I've tried to pose an Ask Reddit question. I'm like, damn, this is a banger, man. I'm gonna be a fucking famous Redditor.
And it goes nowhere.
Doesn't happen. Yeah. So
I know. And I'm like amazed at people like this throwaylien account that become famous from a response on an Ask Reddit account.
Yeah, it's gotta be broad enough that everybody has a response, but
also unique enough that it's not been done a million times.
Totally.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure the UFO
what's your favorite
one's been
sex?
done a million times.
What's your favorite sex?
Girls, what's the hottest thing a guy does that he doesn't know that he does?
Girls, is it cool if a guy has like a 3-incher?
And then also, you have all the top comments that float to the top because everyone upvotes. It's like size doesn't matter.
Yeah, of course.
Nice, sick, tight.
All right,
upvote that.
Sick, upvote. Yeah, that's the right answer. Anyway, so this was the post. Alien abductees of Reddit. Let us know what your story is. throwaylien writes, throwaway account because I'm afraid. I was first abducted in 1987. I was 12 years old.
Do you have this on? Can you throw me your screen so
actually,
I can put this
up?
Let
me put that up.
If you text it to me, I can put it up.
Let me see. I actually might have it.
There we go.
All right. So this is kind of small if you're watching, but this is a kind of a mirror of the first part of Throwaylien comments because you can't see them anymore.
Dude, it's such a long. This is actually part of what makes me kind of, I don't want to say believe, but I'm kind of like good in writing, bro.
Right.
Yeah.
It's wild. So I was first abducted in 1987. Wait, what?
No, I think if you can put in like just like anything in life, like 20% more effort.
Yeah.
People are going to be like, whoa, blown away.
This is good. This
instead of my usual 10%.
Yeah. But all the like detailed Reddit posts that have like a little more work, you're like tend to crush.
It's real. It's real. I can tell it's real.
This guy wrote 16 paragraphs, Linda.
16. All right, this is legit. All right, I was 12 years old. I say abducted, but it's not like that. Actually, you go willingly. It's scary, but it's exciting too. And they're somehow able to make you feel okay about things. It's not until later that you feel bad or like you've been violated. They don't do a lot of probing, like raping or anything like that. That's Hollywood nonsense. They do look inside people sometimes, but they have machines to do that. But not really machines. It's kind of like a room where things get done and the walls are kind of like X-ray machines. That's the easiest way to describe it. Sometimes there would be others there and they'd be looking into them, or they'd put them under and cut them open, but not usually. They took tissue samples from all of us, I think, and they never put you under or give you any anesthetic or something or anything. They just poke you with these things, like they take samples from the bottom of the ocean floor, like that, but really small. They pull chunks of you. It usually is done on the butt or on the lower back. Mostly they talked with me, just questions, and they'd show me things like television shows and things like Law and Order was one of them. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, Law and Order.
Dick Wolf, no slouch.
Yeah, I love can't say Dick Wolf on TV.
All right, let me show you something. Like, I want to get your take on
tell
this.
Us about iced tea. What's tea about?
There are 3 pieces of material we want to run by you: the Bible, the hieroglyphs, and Law and Order.
Right.
The pillars.
I wonder if they watched like reality TV and they're like, going on?
We like this, The Bachelor.
This happened like 10 years ago and it's never gone away. I'm positive that we'll never be able to communicate with them in their language. I should mention that these are the grays that you hear about, except they aren't gray. They're sort of beige, and it's clothes anyway. They aren't naked.
I'm sort of beige.
I know. I love beige clothes. I was like, God, yes, they would like me.
I'm sort of beige.
I'm sort of beige.
Wait a minute. Hold on.
People say they are, but I've only ever met the grays. So he doesn't know if there are other types of aliens out there, but he's only ever met the grays. Anyway, you can't understand them, but they can understand you, and they can put thoughts into your head, but they can't hear your thoughts. You have to speak to them, and they can't hear you very well, or they can't understand English very well. So you have to talk really slowly and really loudly, like you're talking to your grandma or something.
Cool.
I don't know if they understand other languages, but I'm pretty sure they would. They are interested in all of us, in everything that goes on. They like a lot of things in our culture too. They like some of our music. Bluegrass is their favorite music genre. They like it a lot, but they absolutely, this is what they say. They love the African instrument that looks like a gourd with 13 strings. Love it. They can't get enough of that.
This is where I kind of go, that's a very weird
detail. Very weird detail.
Cool. All right.
They can't stand horns.
It's true. It's real.
They cannot stand any horn music. So they hate classical music. They hate jazz.
Wow.
I think trumpets sound like their language. It's a feeling that I get, but I've never been able to ask them. So they've taken me up about every 2 years, I'd say.
In their defense, I think trumpets and brass music can be annoying unless you're shit-faced in New Orleans. Then it rules.
Have they been to New Orleans?
Yeah.
That's what I'd like to know. Are they drunk? Because then it's really fun. And you can just get into the party.
A 2-yard grenade.
Possibly.
2-yarder.
Yeah, 2-yarder.
A 2-yard grenade. Oh my God.
Well then.
So they take me up about every 2 years since the first time in 1987. Sometimes it's more often, but he didn't go up at all from 95 to 2000. They usually keep me for what feels like a day, but it ends up turning out to be like 4 hours. But the longest time he stayed was for 3 weeks. And during that time, they made him make phone calls to keep up appearances. So like, call your friends and family. Hey, I'm not missing. Like, I just went down the street for a Starbucks coffee.
I'm in Cabo. Dolphin experience rules.
Yes. They're not bad, throawaylien initially says. Well, I'm going to say people. They're not bad people or whatever. The 2 that I sort of got close with told me to call them Jack and Gina. Okay? Jack and Gina. Jack and Gina. I don't know if they are male or female, or if they even have different sexes, and I know those aren't their real names for sure, but those are the names that they told me. Must be their like cool Earth names now that they came. They're like, Jack. I like that one.
Yeah,
that's a good one.
When North Korean is smuggled into America and they pick an American name.
Yes. It's like their humanified name.
Yeah.
Steve.
to assimilate, but that doesn't sound like they're trying to assimilate.
Yeah.
No.
Interesting.
Hello, I am Barry from.
Yeah.
Okay, Barry. I bet you're in Bombay.
Very. True? Yeah. You're like, no, my name is Stanley. I promise you.
Yeah.
They will make contact.
Sure,
this is where
the call center.
This is where the prediction comes in. That is very interesting. They will make contact with Earth on a wide scale in 2021. That's the year when they'll land here or colonize or whatever. I'm not exactly sure what their plan is. They don't seem to be evil or dangerous. Their planet is a really long way away. They couldn't explain to me how far, because they said it's too far for me to even understand. But it was also close to the side. Quotes. I have no idea what that meant, but it's always stuck with me. Home is, quote, too far away for you to understand, but also close to the side.
By the way, really quickly, since people can't actually see this, Freed is like just typing the most boomer ass shit in the Google right now. Where are aliens in the galaxy?
There's like a place they're supposed to be. It's
on the side.
No, there's a name for it. It's called
Ohio.
It's called Ohio. No, that's why I'm looking up. I can't remember, but it's like it's you'll know when I say it.
Okay. All right. Bring it up.
Where are aliens in the galaxy?
Where are aliens in the what is an alien? Home is too okay, so
continue.
We don't have anything they want, or so they told me. So they haven't come here to like take our resources or eat people or enslave us or breed with us or genetically engineer us. I don't know what they want, but they've been coming here for about like 10 to 20,000 years. I'm not really good at history and upper Paleolithic quote and all that, but they've got videos of all sorts of stuff. And they showed me video of Neanderthals and Cro-Magnon people, which were really just like us humans, except they all had black skin, way less diversity, and all sorts of other human-like beings, us's or whatever. And they showed me a video of the pyramids being built. And this huge stone building that I guess is lost somewhere was destroyed, but it was all in Europe. I love
that detail. That detail is like a really fun detail with this, where they're just because I read that last night and I was like, oh, that's fun. That's like you don't really think about that, but there's all this really badass shit that was built that just got destroyed, and we have no fucking idea.
And I remember just from the beginning of learning about the pyramids, everyone's like, we don't really know how they were made,
right?
But we think it's this, and
they still don't know they're made. And weren't they covered in marble or something?
Yeah,
no idea.
Or in limestone.
Yeah.
So they like had a yellow glow and they were like shiny,
like bizarre. And I wonder, it's bizarre. So, they have video of them talking with all sorts of people all throughout the history of Earth. They showed me some of them and asked me questions about them, but I couldn't understand any of it because I only speak English, and even English from like 200 or 300 years ago is different, and I could hardly understand it. So I told them that they probably knew better than I did. I was up 3 weeks ago. That was the last time. I'm pretty sure I'll go up again in a couple of years, but I'm not sure after that. The whole program, or whatever they call it, is going to change in July 2021. I think they said the 8th, but it could also have been the 18th.
That'd be nice if they could be like, oh, I mean, it was September 18th.
Yeah. Oh, did I say July 2021? I meant 2021. They weren't trying to intimidate me or even warn me, so I don't think we have anything to worry about. I hope they don't show the videos they took of me when they first started taking me up, because I was so scared and young, and they're embarrassing. So that is, I'm like, don't worry, buddy. We're not going to judge you if you look if you peed your pants when you were abducted by aliens.
Some bullies at high school, just like, oh, you fucking dude, look at you and the alien.
12-year-old looks scared to be abducted.
Were you crying, dude? Oh man, you fucking wuss.
If he went up there and he like they put him on the metal table and they're like, we're gonna now go up your butthole and take some chunks of your ass out, for medical purposes, and he like flipped up his leather jacket, pulled out a smoke, and was like, do your worst. Like, I'd be like, this kid's fucking rules, dude. This kid's sick. And he does a kickflip and he's like, get up in my butt. Like, no one thinks you're gonna do that. It's terrifying.
Jeff was crying. This is what I gonna see.
Oh, Jeff. So that is the first post.
Right.
It was obviously a hit, and then Throwaylien spends hours answering follow-up questions.
Right.
So I kind of took it off because those are just the comments that you can see, and they don't
forever.
have a lot of context.
And also that's a very long post, but it's an important contextual post. And this, by the way, what I love about this story too is this year we have seen aliens have been in the news fucking constantly.
And
we remember when Blink 184, what's his face, gets on
Tom
DeLonge, and he goes ham on the Joe Rogan show whatever a couple years ago.
And Joe Rogan was just like, "This fucking piece of shit."
Well, he sounded like a piece of shit, right? Like he did not sound credible at all. And everyone's like, "God, he's a really fucking loser," and he was right. Like all the shit he said was going to happen kind of happened. And you're like, Tom DeLonge,
shit, man.
Tom DeLonge for Preds.
Well, but you know, the date is the actual date is like, I don't want to say it's inconsequential, but like he posted this in 2013, and this whole year has been about aliens. Like how would he have known?
How would he have known that
all this shit is going to come out?
The fact that he even wrote this in 2013, and the fact that we got confirmation from the U.S. government that UFOs are real. Like
that was
sorry guys. That's bizarre to me.
The New York Times article was what, like the 2018,
right?
Yeah,
I think it was it September 2018?
Did they get the 18 mixed up?
Did they get the 18 mixed up? It was 2018, right?
I don't remember, to be honest.
Let me do some fact checking over here. But I mean, that's pretty fucking wild. They at least call it within a year. I don't know.
Yeah, and like, to be honest, the first thing I thought of before I was starting to dig into all of this was if the aliens had something planned for July 18th, 2021, and the US government came out earlier in the year and said, "Hey guys, UFOs are real," maybe the aliens would change their plans a little bit. I don't know.
Hey man, you're not wrong.
Maybe they're like, "Well, fuck you." Like the UFO thing blew.
Well, we can't do Thursday now.
Now we can't do Thursday. Let's push it a year. You know?
Do you think somebody canceled the pitch meeting because of they're like, you know what, I'm actually keeping my schedule pretty clear that day, like just in case?
Maybe.
Yeah. I think a lot of people probably cleared their schedules.
And also
the next day it's like, well, how did that thing go? Oh yeah. What are you up to? How's everything, Fran?
And you're like, wasn't this supposed to be your huge day where you like announced? No,
dude.
What did you get? Did you get a cat? Why you change the subject, Bob?
It's honestly like working in advertising. You know, maybe like the U.S. government blew it, and now their campaign is no longer relevant.
Yeah, man.
I mean,
millions of dollars down the drain. No, I think I also, if the aliens were to come down on this date, we don't know what the thing is that's going to make us feel, or like it could be fucking anything. It could be literally they may have come down and done a bunch of shit in like, we're talking aliens. We got a big ass world, man. Like they could have come down and landed in like some strange island where nobody is. And they're just like, all right, we're setting up shop here, man. We're going to start building our stuff here. And we don't fucking know.
So weird.
Yeah. And then even if we did know, it's like not going to get to the people, man. The government's going to be like, yo, there's some aliens who are on that fucking island over there, dog. Like we got to go torch that place. So yeah, it's strange. It's all very strange. All right. So where do we go from here?
So from here, things kind of go quiet. So he answers a bunch of questions. And then the last thing you kind of see from throawaylien for a long time is basically saying they're not happy that I did this and I need to stop posting. And throawaylien goes quiet for 7 years.
Really?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
So we don't hear anything for 7 whole years with throawaylien. And during that time, some other weird shit happens. And that shit has to do with someone named Traveler. Let me see. I forgot the numbers. Traveler. Well, shit. Let me find it. I have it in one of my tabs.
I remember this happening.
Bags are packed, ready
yes.
to go.
Traveler something. Yeah, I remember.
It's
I remember
another
hearing briefly
user.
About this.
Yeah. Sorry, you guys.
Also, there's a timeline that I sent you guys last night. That was like an interactive timeline. Let me see if I can. Share this fucking bullshit.
So the Andromeda Galaxy is what I was looking up, where the aliens are theoretically possibly from. That's what people think.
And that's based on literally nothing.
It's based on heavy research.
Oh, okay.
Science. It's the galaxy closest to ours.
Can you guys see my screen right now? Do you see the Jack and Gina?
Yeah.
Thing? So this is what this is like the original Reddit post, And then this is kind of talking about their articulation of what happened, right? So 2013, then Diane taken. This was one of the comments. Sam died. I don't remember the Sam thing. There's a bunch of details in here. Coach ignores TAA since Sam's funeral. There's a bunch of little details here. Jack and Gina, our main character, return to the United States. And then
so I got a little more info. So Jack and Gina, they're the aliens that throwaylien met.
So all
really
the
weird.
All the comments here, everything that is going on in this whole endeavor is it all starts at the 1987 or whatever they said.
That's his first.
Yeah, his first experience, but he explains all these other things since. And then everything happens in comments in the original post, and then the final post on May 24th, 2021. There was 2 posts that they made, and everything else in there were comments, and this whole subculture developed around it, which actually for me, I don't know if that makes it seem more like a LARP or less like a LARP. I haven't decided.
I know. So the thing about the LARPing that is so interesting to me is, so I finally found the answers that I was looking for as I was struggling. So during that 7-year period where throwaylien kind of goes underground and people are like, where the fuck did that guy go? There's someone who pops up called username the Traveler 3649, and they create a subreddit called the True History of Earth. So this person basically
aliens
posts
are
here.
Sick, dude. I love aliens.
Yeah, posts here and says the dinosaurs became extinct not from a big, meteor or anything. It was from a volcano in Yellowstone or something. Minor, not huge eruption, but the eruption shot a giant piece of rock up into the sky. The sky, it fall back down, and that's how it hit the earth, and that's the impact. It hit in the Yucatan Peninsula, and that's what killed all the dinosaurs. So people start the details that go with that post.
So that was supposed
to
be shot up.
Yeah.
As opposed to a meteor that
like a chunk of earth shot up during the eruption of the volcano and
then landed in Mexico.
Landed in the Yucatan Peninsula.
Well, that is where the meteor they think landed that killed the dinosaurs.
Right.
The whole shape of the Yucatan is like a crater. Right?
Oh yeah, exactly.
That's what that is. That is supposed to be a meteor.
Right.
That's a big old chunk of earth if it came from
coming out of a volcano.
Yeah, right, buddy. Okay.
Yeah, that part. And it would have been magnified.
Yeah, I don't believe it. Don't believe it 1 second.
Pretty fucking weird. So that comes out. People start to subscribe to the subreddit, and it goes from being like 100 people to 4,000 people to 10,000 people. Suddenly, it's like gaining steam. This person's claiming to be an alien. He's using the name Adam. He says he's a time traveler. He's here to give us an orientation.
This guy sucks. I don't like him.
I know.
Yeah.
So this is all going on.
Also, I'm going to sleep with all your wives.
Yeah, all your wives. Don't
questions.
get weird about
Part
it.
of the aliens.
It's part of the aliens.
Don't get weird about it,
We're
dude.
higher beings.
Yeah.
Don't be lame.
We are in a volleyball session at 9:00. Leave your wives with me.
Leave your wives with me. Hide your kids, hide your wives, and hide your husbands because they're raping everybody out there. We're higher beings.
Rub my calves.
Rub my calves. So Traveler 3649 then posts this thing called orientation on here. And it's basically like, hey, July 18th is coming up, you guys, 2021. This has been my life's work. We are basically making wide contact with Earthlings during this time. Don't be freaked out. It's going to be awesome. We're not here to hurt you. Like, basically, we're here to explain your history to you,
right.
Like all this shit.
It's a big old PR campaign.
Big old PR campaign. So during this time, people are getting kind of frenzied. throwaylien reappears after 7 years. Okay.
The anonymity of Reddit fucking rules, man.
It really does.
Because it allows for all this shit.
Right.
Like you can do all this stuff, and it's the best.
It was Code Monkey, dude. It was Code Monkey.
Code Monkey. So throwaylien basically comes on to be like, hey, Traveler 3 whatever, full of shit. like I am telling you right now, like this guy's live action role play, like he's not for real. This other guy that's also commenting heavily on the history of Earth, also full of shit. Like he's basically saying like, listen, pretty much half of abduction stories or alien stories he's claiming are like total bullshit. He's particularly skeptical about any stories about abduction that begin where you fall asleep.
Yeah, I saw that. That was an interesting. There's another one of those interesting details. I'm like, this is good writing.
Yeah,
some good ass writing.
Very interesting because he's like, those are most likely nightmares and dreams and stuff. And he's like, the times I've been taken up have never been, you know, when I'm falling asleep or in the middle. It's always like, and they can take you from anywhere. Like
he's going, like I'm sitting at work and it's
like, so he'll just not grabbed even, because the way he explains it is that they make you want to go. So like you kind of are just like,
sounds like falling into a seizure.
It's almost like the date rape drug a little bit. Like
it does sound like
lower inhibition,
getting molested.
Yeah, they like groom you a little bit.
There's like a grooming, and then the sort of the repetitory.
Yeah. And the shame and weird violation feeling you feel after it's done.
Yeah, like I don't know why they wouldn't just get new people every time.
Yeah.
And like same with molesters, right? Like they go back to the well because they know they can.
Probably because if you think about it, they're like, if they're researching humans from like a scientific point of view, it's like it's the same way humans research like cougars in the wild, and you like tag their ears and you check in on them every other year and see how they're doing. And it's like basically what someone else explained is like, if we're imagining that aliens are real and they're studying human beings, there's no reason to think that they wouldn't be deceptive like humans are, that they wouldn't be cruel and unusual like humans are. So in the beginning, Throwaylien says, I don't think they're bad. I don't think they hurt people. When he comes back 7 years later, he is filled with regret. I was
mistaken.
Yes.
They are terrible.
He's like, I am so sorry for saying that they don't hurt people. Because something that he discovered is that there are 3 groups of human beings that the aliens are studying. The first group is over a long period of time, and that's like someone like him. So they're being observed, they're being brought in, they're aware they're being, quote, abducted, and they're not being like permanently injured or anything because they want to be studied over a longer period of time. The second group of people don't even realize they're being observed or studied. So those people are like,
that's us.
Like, yeah, like David Attenborough, like photographer in the wild, like watching 2 birds fucking a tree. Like that's what that group is like. And then the third group, this is the third group Throwaylien did not know about until they came back in 2021.
This is like the Hitler group of like, let's cut these twins open.
Yes.
And then jam them together.
Yeah.
And run some gas tests.
Gorilla glue
really crazy, like bad human stuff.
Super fucked up.
And these are human stuff.
The people who are experimented on, physical testing, and they're usually killed. They don't go into detail, but they say the tests that they're subjected to are not survivable. So like this group of people, they're all dying.
Why don't they just fucking rent from the public library one of our medical books that already explains all this stuff?
Yeah, Grey's Anatomy.
The only thing we don't know is how to cure like a couple of things.
Yeah.
Right.
So
but the rest of it's in a fucking book.
Right.
You gotta cut us open, baby.
That's a fair point.
So these are some of the interesting things. Throwaway. I mean, let's be real. If we had 4 hours, we could get so deep on some of these like bizarro theories. But I think that that's a lot of that is for people who have been following this for 7-8 years.
That's also like its own sub. That's its own podcast.
Yeah.
Did you watch the QAnon doc on HBO?
I haven't. I was thinking about it last night.
There's like a lot of similarities here. Like there's
a lot of similarities.
Code Monkey's the guy who like they basically say like is Q.
Watkins, right?
Watkins' son, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, he's like 30. He's like getting chicks in a brothel in Philippines.
Fucking crazy.
You know,
it's absolutely crazy.
But it feels like, you know, a guy like they started a thing, all these people got on board. Now he's like this guy who's like doing this thing. There's like cachet involved, you know. He's popular now.
It's just
bizarre because you started this and all these people like sort of jumped on board. You know, it'd feel like now you're sort of obligated. It's just like something to go do at home. And I can just see how you can easily get sucked into it, and if you have any kind of like imagination, you're a decent writer, like you can keep the LARP going.
Well, there's probably a lot of more thrill in. There's a lot of thrill in. I mean, I remember. this is the whole thing with karma, right? It's like you post something, you're just like, damn, people are really fucking into this thing.
And then you kind of like people are waiting for you to talk about something.
Yeah, you watch, and like
nobody's ever asked me like what I'm up to.
Yeah,
it's true.
Most people all day, like you're just alone.
Yeah,
and you're searching for a community and like some meaning, or like people are lonely.
Yeah,
and
to see a whole world develop around it, I know.
You're fucking. I mean, that's what I think. A lot of the like what I saw from the QAnon thing was like a lot of people that didn't have much going on in their lives had this new community. I was like, there's like to me. There was a nice part about it. I was like, this makes a lot of sense. Like they're sort of like discarded part of humanity, like our culture. And now they're coming together on this thing. And like, I can see the same sort of group of people.
Right.
Also with the QAnon thing, by the way, because I think a lot about that too. With any of these things,
like the Peloton, it's like you get involved, you get a great teacher.
That's true.
You just love it.
But the QAnon thing, so QAnon is still happening.
Yeah.
Even though it's been disproven and Q has straight up not done anything since January. There was somebody fucking killed in the name of QAnon the other day.
This guy killed 2 of his children for QAnon like a month ago.
Yeah, and you kind of see this stuff and you're just like,
he thought they were gonna
but why would you,
Yeah, well, people are also whack.
Yeah. Some people still don't know how Breaking Bad ended. Some people are late to the game.
But it's just a lot of wacky religions and some cults, and like there's like always like a thing that people are looking to become a part of. Like,
there's
well, when you lack meaning and you, I think a lot of people think in a way that they have to know in their guts what is true. And I think that they just find something, they latch onto it and they go, I know because I know, right? And I don't know, there's probably some really interesting psychology around it.
I know because I don't want to be disproven, because if I am, then I can't be part of this group anymore.
Right.
And there's like so much, I think, tribalism about like being part of the group. Like you choose to not digest facts.
Totally.
And it's the same with like news and politics, and like it's very much like a human nature.
Oh, superhuman.
And people have hacked it time and time again to sort of make the masses do their will.
Totally.
Yeah.
That's how come that's how come I got into bucket hats in 8th grade.
Fuck yeah, dude.
Because LL Cool J was wearing
I hope
and I was like, dude,
did you keep them? Because they're back.
They're hot.
I should have kept.
They're hot right now.
Well, I'll just say this: I blew it.
You did blow it. That's
God
true.
damn it! You could have like given them to Chotch.
You know what I did? Just uncovers all my old baseball cards, which apparently there's like value in them now.
Oh yeah.
Whoa.
And I'm like looking. I'm like, ooh, a Darryl Strawberry MVP. I look it up. I'm like, this is gonna be the one, baby. Who needs a new set of rims?
Yeah.
And then it's like $1.89.
Damn it!
Yeah. No, okay.
It's like the Beanie Baby card bullshit.
Oh, of course.
I know there's one in there that's worth something, but
I'm sure. All right, so let's finish the.
So check this out. I just shared this. This is, I think, an interesting way to kind of wrap up the wrap up is a ridiculous way to say it, but wrap up the throwaylien conversation we're having right now, because there's no way to wrap it up. I mean, aliens probably exist. I don't know. Like, shit's going on.
Well, the whole point of this specific topic with throwaylien is the fact that there's a massive potential LARP or truth on Reddit, which is very beautiful and created a storm that I have been very compelled in watching happen.
Yeah.
Whether it's true or not, doesn't really matter, right?
True. So this person, user UOnditruff FI,
cool,
posts Occam's razor applied to throwaylien mental illness. So this is another potential side of this, is that throwaylien is someone with schizophrenia or bipolar disorder. So this person kind of tries to apply Occam's razor to the throwaylien story to say, okay, there are 3 possible outcomes here. 1, he was really abducted. 2, he's live action role playing.
Yep.
Or 3, he's got a mental illness. So Occam's razor would suggest he's either lying or he's mentally ill. And Occam's razor is like, whatever's the most simple, logical explanation's probably the most likely.
Mm-hmm.
So he says, however, we know the US and the world in general is filled with religious people and believing things that there is no evidence of existence. Just look at how many people on Reddit believe their dreams at night are prophecies and that they are physics. I don't know what that means.
Yep.
Furthermore, throwawaylien posts from May of this year provide further evidence just how mentally unwell he is. So I don't believe he's intentionally lying. I think he has mental illness. The U.S. in particular is a smorgasbord of delusional religious nuts and mental illness with a Venn diagram overlapping both. The only difference between him and Christopher Robin, the creator of Winnie the Pooh, is that Christopher Robin knew he was imagining things. throwawaylien believed his imagination/dreams, just like the psychics on Reddit. That's what he meant to say. Okay. I also believe politicians jumped on the UAP bandwagon to extract funds from taxpayers, hence Trump putting billions of dollars towards the UAP disclosure, which was in the coronavirus bill, as an excuse of sending more taxpayer money to the Navy/military.
That's fascinating.
Very good point.
That's a very fascinating point.
I do think there's a military industrial complex element to studying the aliens.
Yeah.
It feels like if you were going to do that, you start releasing some videos. But then the question is, what the fuck are the videos?
Right.
The video, but you can put fucking anything, dude.
You can make anything.
Yeah.
So Tom Cruise is like my friend on Instagram, and it's like some guy named Jerry.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Jerry Maguire.
So in short, Reddit fell for a mental person's delusions, and politicians, as politicians do, took advantage of hype to help themselves to more of taxpayers' money. So I think that's a bit of a stretch. I don't think that the politicians were like, hey, did you catch this throwawaylien thing?
Yeah.
Maybe
Barack
we
Obama.
can get an extra $1 trillion out of the taxpayers for budget.
Obama 6'9", 420 is like, oh, dude, I saw this post. We can totally turn this into policy, actually.
Dude,
There's only 14,000 people on this sub. Like, it's not enough to
no, I don't.
Obama
but you never know.
You never know.
You never know.
Maybe one like noob out of Ivy League city was he was like asked for like pitches and ideas on how to extract, and he's like, what if we like fake an alien? I mean,
well,
who knows where ideas come from? But
I do think that there is like QAnon became a global political conversation, right? So even if we think that that's a ridiculous theory, which it is a ridiculous theory to some degree, like Ron Watkins and his fucking dummy little brother, his fucking son, completely manipulated the global political system, and Steve Bannon is the kind of person who would actually do exactly what we're talking about.
Yeah, that's true.
So and above all else, this is another one of those reminders where, like, true or not, fucking keep your wits about you, because people are going to manipulate this shit, and it just turns everybody into conspiracy theorists, and it's fucking bizarre because that's kind of goes back to my ghost thing, right? Where it's like, if a ghost is in here and fucking with shit in your room, you're kind of going to be like, get out of here. Come on. You're not going to be like, change your lifestyle around believing that moment was a ghost, right?
No.
Which is kind of what happens here.
Mentally ill.
Unless you're mentally unwell. Yeah.
Or if you're fucking bored and you're like getting a disability check and you're halfway on the can every day on Vicodins, and you're like, fucking sweet, I'm gonna like get him,
Yeah.
There's like people need stuff to do.
I just don't understand when people change. Like, this is the thing about a lot of these kinds of topics, is you change your whole life around these concepts, around this thing that happened. Like, if I had one dream when I was a kid about aliens, it was really specific. And all of a sudden, for the rest of my life, I was just fucking focused on that thing.
Right.
That would just be, it's one of those things where, I mean, maybe this is hypocritical because we all have things like this where something happened to us and you're just kind of like, dude, let it go.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I can't. It was a symbol. It changed my life. But there is just an element of, I think, the QAnon thing.
And would you say that to somebody who was molested?
That's the interesting question.
Let it go.
Some
and I think
do impact
some people would say like, you're better off letting this go.
Yeah.
Don't make that who you are. Like,
if you
go
can.
live.
Yeah.
If you can.
Yeah.
It's not easy. So if somebody is like really believes that an alien came in and molested them,
right?
Which I know they're saying it, they're choosing to use a different word.
Right.
Studied.
Yeah.
That's what Uncle used to say.
Well, the old
I'm gonna
alien
study
did
your body with
me
my
molesta
tongue.
bothered
Uncle.
me.
Yeah.
That alien's bothering me.
Yeah. He's bothering me.
And that's kind of what molestation.
So yeah, how do you let something go if you really think it's like whatever? Yeah.
Always, our podcast always ends on molestation.
Always.
Every episode.
This particular pattern sounds like that is what it sounds like the same pattern of people getting molested.
Yeah,
right.
Like based on stories. Like,
so this person I have this comment says it's from someone named Indie Girl 42.
Cool.
This person says mentally ill for sure. I have bipolar, and during a manic episode, you wouldn't imagine the things I saw or believed. Your delusions seem more real than reality.
Mm-hmm.
I believe he believed he was abducted, but was he really? Probably not. I believed I was Elvis's soulmate for 5 years and he was going to come and take me to heaven. A delusion can last for a while.
Well,
and that's a good like inside peek into someone who has bipolar disorder,
right.
who knows what it's like to be in a manic state.
But then again, we don't know if they're telling the truth either.
Exactly.
So it's one of those things.
It could also be a LARPer.
There's the LARPing thing is so interesting because it just can go so far. And you know, there's like Andy Kaufman kind of did this on a scale that we allowed ourselves to believe, but people still think he is maybe alive.
I saw him at Starbucks.
Yeah. and it's one of those things where it's like, you know, him as the wrestler, when he was doing that and the kayfabe thing, you were like, wait, is he for real? Is he actually like,
right?
You know, and there are all these things that just introduced the concept of toying with reality by committing to an idea.
Yeah.
And you know, and I think that there is some really beautiful artistic value in it. It is potentially also disturbing when it comes to mental health.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, we're also living in a time where like people deny vaccines. It's just an interesting. It's interesting because aliens feel like a safe version and a fun version to have this conversation.
Yeah.
When there are other things, be it QAnon, be it the anti-vax thing, be it, you know, we're doing everything with the war in Afghanistan right now. We're probably going to see versions of that with this, right? North Korea, like kind of the list goes on where it's actually not fun. It's extremely dangerous.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't really know how to draw the line because if you can't imagine, like it's wrong for you to imagine that there's a secret informant in the government who's spilling secrets to everybody's fucking mom in Ohio, right? Well, is it really any less dangerous or more dangerous than the alien thing? It's just a matter of people taking it seriously.
Right.
So I don't know. It's a really fascinating topic. It's a really interesting thing thinking about what is and isn't true when it comes to alien stuff.
Yeah. And it's like, it's also an important reminder, like not always to be like, question what you read on the internet. Duh. Like we know we have to, but also like question what you read on the internet, you know? But when it comes to stuff like this, it's bizarre because alien, like probably 5 years ago, I would have been like total LARPing, total bullshit. And then this year, of course, we get a fucking confirmation from the US that UFOs are real. So I do think it's a good point that this might be kind of a way to get more military funding. But at the same time, I think that's a really interesting point. Like all these things that we want to just discount. It's like, we're living in a different world now than we were 10 years ago. And
there is actually a part 3 to this that we're not going to have time to get to, but we're probably going to have to talk about it a little bit next pod.
Oh, yeah.
Because there's something actually a friend sent to me. There's another one called the Transcension Project. And there was something that happened this past week where it was an interview with somebody about a dream they had.
Yes. So this interview, it was a press conference that this woman held, and this person,
that in itself is the dumbest statement of all time.
Yeah. And this person's like from the alien community or alien believer community is kind of being criticized on Reddit because she engaged with the public before there was any sort of like proof or any video she could share, anything she could share. But basically, like in DC, she gave a press conference with her partner. Basically describing all of this bizarre shit. Like she's like meeting aliens in the mountain. Yeah, that's it.
And they're talking to her, and she's like become like part of it.
She like met someone who saw aliens fly into a base in a mountain near their home and found out that there is an alien ship inside a mountain in this home, and it just
sounds fun. It's fun.
It's a fun story. It's cool. The crux of it is like, they're getting too deep into it. It's like, don't be afraid. It's all about like love and transcension, transcension and like energy and like light love. And it feels like the SNL sketch with Kate McKinnon,
Right.
Where like Ryan Gosling's like, it was like light and being in my soul. And she's like, I don't know. They went up my coot.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
It's like, it's whoever wrote that, like almost read this.
Yeah.
She's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
I love, we've got a comment from our Twitch viewer, I am the Rushman. She did too much DMT. Praying mantis aliens is like a random DMT trip. Trust me, I would know. It's probably fun believing in your trip too hard.
Yeah, I mean, I've had DMT trips that, well, one singular DMT trip that it was pretty fucking dissociating. So
that's another interesting conversation of like, is DMT a wormhole into like the Andromeda galaxy?
We got another 3 hours we can do this. We can't. We actually have to end this one because I know we have to go to our collective jobs. But
teaser.
Interesting topics. Interesting topics. We do probably need to briefly talk about this because this was actually requested from somebody on Facebook as well.
Yeah,
it's a fun story too. I don't know.
But
maybe we do a part 2 or something.
We'll maybe do a part 2. We're just going to continue talking about LARPing, man.
Yeah,
podcast about LARPing now. But anyway, thanks for listening. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
This Did You Reddit, a weekly-ish kind of podcast about the internet by way of Reddit, the front page of the internet. My name is It's Your Dad.
And dog boobs.
Ooh, alien. I am my free day for the aliens.
We'll be back next week and talk more about stuff. About DMT and aliens and stuff. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.